Ukraine needs faster supply of Western weapons, says Zelensky. President says speedy supply is essential to stop Russia dragging out the war. Volodymyr Zelensky has called for Western weapons to be supplied more quickly as Russian forces continued attacks on positions across the front line near the eastern cities of Bakhmut and Donetsk. Speaking in his nightly address, the Ukrainian president said Russia was hoping to drag out the war, already heading for the one-year mark, and exhaust his country's ability to resist the invaders. So we have to make time our weapon. We must speed up the events, speed up the supply and opening of new necessary weaponry options for Ukraine, Zelensky said, warning that Russia was making constant attempts to break through our defense. Last week, Germany and the US agreed to send Western Standard tanks to Ukraine, although they will arrive in the country in 2 months at the earliest, before what is expected to be a critical period in the war next spring. But the U.S. think tank the Institute for the Study of War argued that the incremental pace of Western weapons supply, in which new arms have been sent after weeks or months of debate, has held back the Ukrainian defenders. Delays in the provision to Ukraine of Western long-range fires artillery systems, advanced air defense systems, and tanks have limited Ukraine's ability to take advantage of opportunities for larger counter-offensive operations presented by flaws and failures in Russian military operations, it warned. Russian forces have been pounding Bakhmut in the Donbass for several months, but in recent days the invaders to have opened up a new effort to gain ground around the village of Volodar, 30 miles southwest of Donetsk city. The situation in both places, Zelensky said, was very tough with Bakhmut, Volodar and other areas in the Donetsk region are under constant Russian attacks as the end of January approaches. Volodar is close to the junction with the southern Zaporizhzhia front and considered a hinge point for both sides, but remains held by the Ukrainians despite a claim by the leader self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic to the contrary. Denis Pushilin said Russian units continued to advance in the direction of Volodar, and that units in the town's eastern part had established themselves while Ukraine's military said only that the town had come under enemy fire. Pushilin's claim was also derided by a high-profile Russian military blogger and one-time ally, Igor Strelkov, who described the bravura statements as a lie because Volodar had been fortified by the Ukrainian army and could not easily be taken. Russian attempts to take fortified positions on the Donetsk front had generally resulted in local tactical successes with very serious losses, Strelkov added on his Telegram channel, indicating that he was skeptical about the prospects for a breakthrough. 5 civilians were reported killed and 13 wounded across Ukraine after the latest attacks across the country. 3 were killed in the Kherson Oblast in the south, after Russian forces fired 42 times into the region, including strikes that hit a hospital, a school, a bus station and post office, the local administration said.